Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Scope podcast. I'm back with more WNBA news. Now, the New York Times has reported that the WNBA's attendance record has been broken or surpassed with 3 weeks left in the season to go. Now, this is very interesting for a number of reasons. Um, but just a background, this record was previously set in 2002. So when the league was only 5 years in existence, this record has held since 2002 all the way to present day in 2025. So it's a 23-year-old record that has been broken recently. Um, Very interesting, but congratulations are in order for this feat for the WNBA, especially in a time where they're trying to see growth and they're trying to see expansion coming along with more teams in the next 3 or 4 years. But this is interesting to me because the attendance record has been broken even and continues to be broken because there's still 3 weeks left in the season. However, their biggest stars, the biggest names, been out for most of the year. So the biggest names or biggest draws in the game right now for the WNBA, as far as you know, the casual fans and controversies are Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And these players have missed a large amount of the season, especially Caitlin Clark. She just injured something else again after her hamstring was out. But she's missed majority of the season. Uh, Angel Reese is missing a chunk of the season and just came back a couple of games ago. But it's interesting that the record is being broke despite them being out. Now, I know most people that say, well, it's just because of the um, fans coming out to support Caitlin Clark, but I don't think that's it because if I had the opportunity to watch, one of my favorite players play, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, either one of those players, um, but they're on the sideline. I don't want to go to that game. I watch it on TV, but I'm not going to spend my money to watch them just sit on the bench. So I don't think that's it. I think that the fans have spoken this in terms of the support for the game because the game is so competitive and the game um, is where it needs to be right now. And I talked about this in previous segments about Caitlin Clark being a solo superstar for the league is a bad thing because one day she has to retire, one day she has to hang up her gym shoes, and there's not going to be any support after that if she leaves, if people are there just for one player. Now, if you're there for the love of the sport and you have your favorite players, that's a different story. But it's not good for anybody just to be the sole reliable attraction to anything because once it's gone and you're going to lose all the support and then that could diminish or deteriorate or even obliterate the league. But this is a great sign for the WNBA that the attendance is still up despite Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, missing most of the year. So I thought that was very interesting to me. Um, but the second reason I think it's great is because the economy is not at its strongest right now and the price of everything is going up, and especially with the demand for the WNBA games right now, the price is going up, especially on those Indiana Fever games or New York Liberty games or the Aces. Can't forget Asia Wilson and what they're doing right now with the streak that they're on and the role that they're on. Of course, I think Asia Wilson is the MVP right now, no doubt. Nafisha Collier has been out for some games, um, and Ionescu's been doing well, great as well. So she's in that running too. But I think Asia Wilson, what she's done is above everyone else right now. But just getting back to the WNBA and the growth right now, for them to have the growth right now with the prices and the economy being it's not strong, I think it's very good for the sign of the league because when the economy gets back and people are getting jobs and making more money, it's only going to bode more well for them. It should at least, because people have more disposable income and things like that. They have more money to do things like attend a WNBA game or even watch the games on TV. So it's going to be exciting to see once they get up to that level of where they need to be. Um, because the skill set and the love for the game has always been there from those WNBA athletes. But I think it was a stigma around the league because they weren't dunking or seen as the most athletic. But if you're a fan of or a student of the game, You love the fundamentals of the game, and they have some of the best fundamentals in WNBA. Not making a lot of silly passes or taking a lot of crazy shots. A lot of things make sense on the court, what they do. And if you love the game, you understand that part of the game. And the NBA hasn't been the most athletic in the last decade or so. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a 40-year-old player and LeBron pretty much still running the league, which we know is still the case nowadays. So um, the NBA has pretty much been living off reputation for the last decade or so. They haven't really built upon anything new. They really haven't done anything that's been earth shattering in quite some while. It's been, you know, different champions every year. This really hasn't been a lot of dominance. There's been a lot of parity, which is good, which I like in the league. A lot of teams are winning, every other year, and there's not a lot of back to backs and things like that. But I think once the WNBA is healthy, once you get back Caitlin Clark, and then you get Juju Watkins in a couple of years, the pressure will be applied heavily to the NBA. I know a lot of people don't think that, but I think so. It's just the start of things to come. The just the inevitable, I believe, especially with the attendance record being broken this year. I only see more growth from the WNBA, especially with the expansion teams coming up in a couple of years, the Clevelands, um, and a couple of other teams that they have coming up. Toronto, hopefully Kansas City will get a team pretty soon. But congratulations are definitely in order for the WNBA. And until next time, I'll see you next time.